Hey, what's up everyone? Professor Danny and Alex. In this tutorial for BJJ, we're going to be talking about the half guard bottom position. So check it out. All right, so the first thing is setting up the half guard, right? So maybe if someone's passing your guard and you caught one of their legs in the process, and that's when you start your half guard position. But other times you might be stuck in a bad position, such as the mount, for example, and that's where you're going to be setting up your half guard position. So on the bottom of the mount now, what Alex is going to do is just like frame my hips, and now watch how he's going to start his elbow escape, which will extend this leg. And now look, as he bridged me off, now he caught one of my legs. All right, so this is his half guard starting position. All right, so look, once again. All right, so these are basics in Jiu-Jitsu where he's going to frame so I don't go higher. And watch how he's going to extend his legs. Like if I'm already postured up here, he's going to bridge me first to remove the weight off my leg, and watch how he bridges to catch this limb right here. So now one of my legs is stuck, and that's the half guard position. That's going to set up most of the techniques we're going to talk about today. Now, before showing some techniques, I also want to talk about sometimes you might be really proficient in your half guard techniques. And maybe from the closed guard position, sometimes you're having difficulty getting a sub or even sweeping the person from here, because closed guard is such a basic position that if you got someone who's really seasoned inside your guard, it's going to be hard for you to sweep them from here sometimes. So sometimes what you can do is just get your grips here and now get the open guard position from there and get a setup. Right? And from here, look, he's going to move his hips to create some space, and look, shoot this leg through. And now as he pulls me back in, now you set up your half guard position. All right, so a lot of times you can go from the closed guard into the half guard simply because you know that's what you wanted, because from the half guard, a lot of times people can have more proficiency in attacking their sweeps. Now, before we show some techniques, once again, I want to talk about the positioning of your half guard position. Notice how Alex is sideways. All right, so every time you have one of the legs, you always want to be facing your opponent. All right, it's very important to stay on your side and not let yourself be put flat like this. If I'm in this position here and I bring his shoulder to the mat, now it's going to be challenging for him to be able to get those sweep positions. All right, so by staying to his side now he has the good angle to start attacking. All right, now the next thing you want to do is also positioning your frames. So for example, he wants to frame me here so that way there I can't put all of my weight, and he also wants to frame this arm here so that I can't control his neck and flatten him out. Okay, now once we have this, now we can go for a very basic sweep. One of those sweep is the ankle pick. All right, so what he's going to do now, he's going to bring his head as low as possible underneath my stomach and make himself very small here so he disappears. So now it's going to facilitate, get the underhook on this side, and now look, I can't even catch his head here. Now let's turn in this direction, Alex. Now if you'll notice here what's going to happen, look, he's going to go for the ankle with his free hand. Now he's going to pull that heel to my butt as tight as possible. He's going to keep pulling right here. So now I can't sprawl this leg. Okay, once he has this now, he's going to start to move up to his knees. But when he does this, a lot of times what happens, as he moves here, keep going Alex, go onto all fours. Look, my hand is going to be posted here. So what he wants to do is ensure he doesn't drive in this direction, but in this direction. So even though I post here, look, boom, he makes me fall down and gets his sweep. Now, building off on that last sweep, there's another variation we can use is, look, as he goes inside, he's going to catch that ankle. Now he's going to switch the grip. Now notice how the backhand, let me turn a little bit more. Notice how his backhand is going to switch, and he's going to grab the ankle with the opposite hand. Look, he goes around the leg and traps it right here. Okay? Now he's coming up, but again, this hand is posted. So look, he's going to have a free hand, trap the arm as well, and now drive forward and collapse the hips. And now he can pass the guard. All right, from the half guard now, we can also use what we call the shield. So this is the frame in the half guard. So sometimes you have the half guard, you're gonna be high. Sometimes you're gonna have the low half guard where you're gonna get a little bit lower. So sometimes our arm position is gonna be in front for shielding or framing right here. Sometimes we're gonna go diving underneath as an underhook to get maybe, for example, the previous technique. But other times we're also gonna be using this back leg right here. So this is called a shield. All right, so we're using this to frame the opponent's weight right here. So you want to bring that knee almost against the shoulder right here, so that way if I try to collapse him, his leg is very strong. So now he doesn't have to use this shield anymore. He has this one right here. But look, it's going to give him an opportunity to do something else. So he's going to make a grip here, a spider grip right here, and now he's going to be holding this arm here to keep it inside or I should say outside his leg right here. So I'm inside his leg, but the arm is on the outside. And now what he's going to do is, look, shrimp his hips, bring his foot, and kick that base. At the same time, he pulls up, just like a bow and arrow effect. Look, he's going to kick, boom. And now that'll bring him in the mount. Okay, next up is going to be a sweep again, but this time, look, as he's holding here, he's going to frame using the shield, and now he's going to make a grip. But if he tries to grip here on the sleeve, like the previous technique, a lot of times the opponent might know and bring his hand away. So that way there doesn't have control of here, and he can't sweep me on this side. But instead, he's going to go for the pant grip right where the knee section is. And on this side here, he's going to make sure he's holding right behind my elbow. All right, just cup this here and make a nice frame with your shield. All right, so now he wants to create momentum because he wants to bring me over that shield, but he's going to push me in this direction first, one, and then drive me to the opposite side, which will sweep me for his back step, gaining side control. All right, let's build up more. Okay, so look, he's getting his shield in, boom, holding this arm, controlling the sleeve. Maybe I prevented this. He went for the pant grip, and now he's trying to sweep me, but when he drives, it gives him another opportunity. When he drives here, a lot of times the hand gets posted right here. Okay, so look, instead of driving back to the previous sweep, he's just going to use like an underhook right here, bring this to his shoulder, and drive with his knee shield into the mount. This puts me off balance. Okay, now we're going to attack the back. So look, using this knee shield position gives you a good opportunity because every time I'm being held here, a lot of times the opponent might react by trying to fight this. All right, he's trying to fight this so he can actually pummel this arm and get back the inside control on the lapel or on the pants right here. All right, so nobody's going to be passing your guard with your arm like this. Okay, so look, if you feel that the person's trying to resist this, this is a good opportunity to go with the flow. Look, he's going to go one, make a grip right here, and now drive it into an arm drag position. Post the hand or the elbow onto the mat, and now you're going to go right beside the shoulder. And look, from here, he's going to continue climbing onto the back and get a seat belt. With the climbing to the back, we can also use this against someone who doesn't know how to position themselves in the top half guard position. What I mean by this is, one example, maybe if you didn't bring your shield in, sometimes, a lot of times when they get past this, they don't know how to position themselves. Like a good top player or guard passer, I should know that this is the arm I want to cup his head with. A lot of times people might make mistakes and they go with this arm and they're trying to put you in a headlock like this to try to pass the guard. This you should counter easily by framing. So you can grab my wrist here. You can also frame my elbow with the opposite side. And now look, he's going to scoot himself out. And now look, he already has one hook inside. And now he can just climb to the back easily. And once again, go for his seat belt. All right, so earlier we showed you guys an ankle pick. So a lot of times if we turn here a little bit, Alex, if he goes for the ankle now, and he tries to drive me in this direction, he's trying to turn me and drop this side of my hip to the mat. So a lot of times they might push in this direction instead. So if you get a stronger person, and as you're going to turn here to drop me here, there's a lot of weight that's going to be countered in this direction to put you flat. So now what happens is you're going to go with the flow. So if I feel that, or Alex, I should say, feels that he's getting resistance to sweep me with the ankle pick, every time you feel that the pressure's coming in, look, he's just going to go with the flow and roll me over to the side where I was driving. All right, the last one we're going to talk about is from the half guard position. This time, as he goes for the single leg, he's going to get his underhook. And now he's going for that single leg here. And of course, sometimes we can just turn on all fours, go for the single leg, Alex, boom, from here. And now sometimes he's just going to sweep me from here, finish the single leg. So look, for example, I might post here, but look, he's going to drag this leg out and boom, make me fall, and then he's going to pass, okay? This is a really good technique, but now sometimes they're going to counter this. So as he goes on all fours, I might start to sprawl, okay? So look, to counter this, when he goes for the single leg position, from here, look, I might start to turn here, and now I start to get in this position, almost in the front headlock position. So now if we turn here, Alex, a little bit, he needs to escape this position, all right? So look, he's going to use his sit-out position right to here, boom, and turn into the back control. Now turn and attack the back, right? That's our first variation. And now we're going to show you another trick where sometimes when he turns on all fours and he wants to go to the back, I'm too heavy. So instead, he's going to roll me over using the kataguruma, okay? So look, he's going to go one, underhook for the single leg. Two, I start to move away, I start to sprawl, but look on this side here. He's going to sit out once again, one. Once he's done his peek out, he traps the arm, but he doesn't let go of this leg. And now he's going to start to rock onto the opposite butt cheek. And now flip me over just like a fireman's carry. All right, guys, so there you have it. Some half guard bottom techniques, intermediate and advanced level sweeps for you guys to practice. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Leave us a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. We'll catch you
in the next video.
Take care.